Hey guys, what's up, Cardfight here, and today I'm here with a Extreme Battle deck profile. So this is the updated Victor build. So without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the starting card, we're running not the old one, but the GBD06 rare. So the skill is cost 1, moves this card into Soul. At the end of the battle, that this card boosted, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your rear guards and restand it, and that unit gets plus 2k. So I'll explain why it's important later on, but he's sort of better in this build for your first ride, because this deck doesn't use a lot of Counterblast early on, so he can help you, use some until you hit late game where you will mainly use your Counterblast. But the main reason why we don't use that much Counterblast now is because our new Victor uses Soul Blast instead of Counterblast, and since he moves into Soul, you can help have an extra Soul Blast cost to use. So there's that, and the new Victor skill is Rush, Vanguard, or Rearguard Circle, Generous 2. When this card is stood by one of your card effects, you can your front row gets plus 2k. And then the second skill is during your turn, if a unit shots on this card, you can choose one of your Vanguards and it gets a new skill. And that new skill is once per turn, Soul Blast 1. When this card attacks Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your units with the Rush ability and stand it. And then a unit in this, a unit in the same column as that card stands as well. So you can send the booster or the attacker as well if you stood a grade 1. And then yeah, so he, instead of the old Victor, which gives the 5k, you don't get the 5k, but you get to restand the card in the back, which might be more helpful sometimes. And yeah, so with that skill, when you restand this, or when you restand one of your rear guards, then you can stand the thing in the back. So you really don't need the old G0 anymore, since the thing in the back will stand anyway, most of the time. So we're running 3 of the old Victors, just in case. I'm running 7 grade 3s because there's a lot of other cards I want to run. So yeah, like the grade 2 lineup is pretty strong, so there's a lot of grade 2s I want to run, of 4 ofs. So the new grade 2 running is Batgil, or Butagil. So his skill is Rush, Generous 2, so it is a Generous 2. Keep that in mind, you cannot use this if you're GB1. So his skill is Generous 2, when his cards stand by one of your card effects. If you have a Victor Vanguard, during this turn, this card gets plus 5,000 power. And then the second skill is Generous 1. When you drive check a grade 3, you can choose one of your opponent's units with power less than this unit's power, and in the front row, and retire it. And then yeah, so he's basically the new Sazanda. I am not running Shazanda, but I do know some people that like to run Shazanda and Butagil. You can go check out Different Fights version of the build. He also made a deck, and he also explains the combos and stuff. So that's a very informative video if you don't know how to play this deck. But in place of Sazanda, I'm running 4 Master Panda, or Kung Fu, Master Kung Fu. So the skill is Rush, District 1. When this card stands by one of your card effects, this card gets a new skill. And the skill is Counterblast 1. When this card attack hits, you can pay the cost if you choose one of your rear guards and restand it, and then that unit gets plus 5,000 power. So why I like this card is because he applies additional pressure. And since he does this, you do restand a lot in this deck. He will probably get at least 1 attack through, and his attack does stack. So if you restand him twice, you can Counterblast 2 to restand 2 units, which might not be the best idea sometimes, but if you have some extra Counterblast open, you can do so. So running him, combo with Bagil, or if you call it Butagil. He gets plus 10k when he restands, so it's pretty scary. So yeah. And then next we're running 4 Maliaki, or not Maliaki, what's his name? The Glimmer Breath clone for this deck. He's from the old set, so I don't need to explain him. But yeah. He does cost Soul Blast, so you have to watch out how much soul you have in your thing if you want to use his skill. So, yep. So for the great ones, we're running 2 Banget. Skill is Rush. When this card restands by the card of one of your card effects, if you have Victor Vanguard, you may discard gets a new ability, and the new ability is lose this card into Soul when a unit hits that during this card boosted, in the battle this card boosted. You can pay the cost. If you do, choose on your regards with the rush ability and restand it. So, whoops. So, yep. Running 2 because Maliaki is still better, but he does have the rush ability. So if you put him behind your Glimmer Breath clone, then you can restand it with the new Victor. Restand this with new Victor, and this can still withstand. Since he doesn't have the rush ability, so he can't be targeted by this card's effect. It's another reason why I'm running Master Kung Fu, because he has the rush ability. So it makes him a little easier to work with with the new Victor, compared to if you're running 8 G2s without the rush ability, then your only real target with the new Victor is Buggill and Banget. So Master Panda just makes it a little easier. Alright, next, so we're running 4 Maliaki because he's a good card. He also combos pretty well with Master Kung Fu. Since when Master Kung Fu restands, he doesn't get the 4K. You can just give the 4K to him so he hits for a little harder. Yeah. Also, like, since Master Kung Fu gives 5K to the other side, preferably to the other side, the amount of shield that your opponent needs to guard with won't be like in increments of 10Ks, but it'll be split into 5Ks, because if you give him another 5K, he'll guard for an extra 10K, but then your opponent will still have to chuck in an extra 5 for him. So instead of chucking out 10/10s, they might have to drop in 15 and 5. So it makes guarding a little more difficult for your opponent's hand. It sounds weird, but if you put it into practice, it works out. It works out. It checks out. So yeah. All right. Next, we are running 4 of the Strifighters. So there's that. And for Burgers, we're running 4 of the Burger G's. Just a countercharge some. Yep. For triggers, we're running 6 draws. The reason why I'm running so many draws is because this deck really needs you to draw into the right cards. If you don't have a field, it's really hard for you to work with. So that's why we're running so many draws, so you can draw into your useful cards easier. And these cards are better for you to discard when you're using your champion Victor, favorite champ. So yeah, running 6 of those, and we're running 6 crits. I'm not running stands because you already restand a lot with champion Victor and the other Victor Stride, so there's not really any need for you to run all those stand triggers. And then running 4 heals. Alright, let's move on to the G zone. Alright, so using these first. So we're going to use 2 favorite champ Victor Skill is Counterblast 2. Discard a card from your hand. At the end of the battle, this card attacked. You would pay the cost. If you do, choose your rear guards up to the same number of cards face up in your G zone and restand them. If 3 or more units were restood, you can discard 3 cards and countercharge 1, and then you can restand this card and he loses 2 drive. So what's amazing about this card is that you can pay for its cost multiple times. So you can actually restand as long as you have the cost to pay. But since you won't, by the second time you restand, you won't have any drive checks. So it's probably going to be really hard to maintain that hand discard. So yeah, most of the time you're going to use it twice if you go full YOLO and try to kill your opponent that turn. If you can't, then that's too bad, and then you're probably dead if you discard all your hand. So it's really important to see how much damage you do that turn, and what are your odds of killing your opponent and stuff before you go full YOLO. So yeah, doing 2 Favorite Champ Victors. Next, running 4 Meteor Kaiser Victor. Not Victor. Meteor Kaiser. Victor Plasma. Yes, his name is Victor Plasma. So, oops. So what he does is, he's from GB01, so you don't need to explain him. But the reason I'm running 4 of these is because if you actually think about it, Nova Grapplers doesn't actually have all that many shards to work with. They have the one from Final Selection and the rare from the rare from the first GBT and the new rare from the GBT. But if you think about it, the Fighter Selection clone, it pops units, and he already helps you do that for free, so you don't really need to shrine into him to do that. And the rare one is on hit, and you withstand something with 5k, but this Victor also does that, so don't really need to run that. So running these just in case you don't have the board to use his effect. For example, you're playing something that can really damage your field, like Kagero or Gear Chronicle and whatnot, then you might need to use Vic Plasma to attack and restand and stuff. So you can use this. But yeah, sometimes you don't need to use it because a lot of times you're just going to win with Champ Victor. So running 4 of the old Victors, simply because you want to use him as your first ride, since he helps you get your GB3 faster. He isn't actually GB3, but you need 3 face up to restand 3. So yeah, you don't. It's actually not GB3. It's you need 3 face up, so it's actually more than GB3. It's like GB4 technically, but anyway, I'm just rambling now. Yeah. All right, for the G zone, we're running a lot of G guards because I'll explain that a bit later. But we're running one of these to help you swap a hand because we're running so many draws. If you want to ditch a draw to hopefully draw into something that you can use to kill your opponent, then that's good. Running one screw because extra shield value helps, and the G guards that this deck currently has for Nova Grappler is not super reliable in getting you into that plus 10k shield. So screw is better for that, and you also again you run draws, so you can ditch a draw to pump him up by another 10k. Running 2 of the new G guards. So what it does is when this card's played in a Guardian Circle, if you have no face-up cards in your damage zone, then you can countercharge 2, and then this card gets a 5k shield. The second effect is when this card is placed on Guardian Circle, you have no soul, you can soul charge 2, and then you can get plus 5k shield. So if you have no resources at all, then you get plus 10k, but a lot of times you will have at least 1 soul or like a count boss open, so it's very hard for you to get both conditions. And especially for this deck, I think like your soul is more important, but having count boss open is also very important if you want to do the Kung Fu Master combo. Master Kung Fu. And running 1 Dismal to protect your cards, as well as going up against VMAX decks. VMAX is not really seen much play anymore, but just in case. and we're running one of the other ones. What's it called? The one from Fighter Collection. If you want to run one less G-Guard, then you can switch out for a Sea Breeze. But yeah, like I know some people want to cut one of these and run a Sea Breeze. If you're playing in a tournament, probably want to run a Sea Breeze. But since I'm not using this deck, or I haven't played in a tournament recently, so I am not using Sea Breeze. Mostly, most of the time I'll be running Sea Breeze in a tournament, but as you've seen in my recent deck profiles, I haven't really been running Sea Breeze simply because I wasn't playing in tournaments. But I always recommend you to play a Sea Breeze if you have space for it, or if there's one card that you don't really want to run. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching this, guys. If this looked a little bit rushed, it's because I haven't posted a video in quite a long time because I was busy doing some other stuff. Just a quick update for you guys who care. If you guys don't care, then you can just click out of this video because I'm finished the deck profile. But recently I've been trying to write a script for a different video. Not really a video. It's more like a documentary kind of thing. It's not really gonna be for this channel, but I might post it on this channel. But it's mainly for my own fulfillment thing. It's gonna be probably like a documentary kind of thing. I'm trying to write the script for it right now, but it's basically about otaku culture in Hong Kong and how I find it different from other places I've been to, and I'm trying to make it interesting. So yeah. Anyway, this is Karataku, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.